And now we're going to talk about professional and social responsibility. As part of the certification, you are required to understand how project managers are a part of the larger community and have a responsibility as professionals to uphold certain standards and be a part of that. And we'll go over them now. The Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct, where the governing body has established this code of ethics and professional conduct, the values contained in it are responsibility. You are expected to be a responsible corporate citizen, government citizen. You're expected to exhibit respect to people that you're working with, to the organization, to the project. You're expected to have fairness in your interaction with others. You're expected to be honest. These four values are extremely important. And there are things in the certification, questions that are asked, where there are talking of stories, and the idea is to challenge you to understand what it really means in a corporate environment, in a working environment, to exhibit responsibility, respect, fairness, and honesty. Also, project management is a profession, and there's a key, it's key to the profession and to grow the profession, to have an active part in participating with other project managers, either by doing training or by doing things that help the organization, your local chapters, things like that, by growing the knowledge base, by improving it, by interacting and networking with other professionals like-minded. And that's very important. Responsibility. Here, follow the policies of the companies that you work with the organizations that you work with, and that work with you. Follow the policies, rules, and regs of the community where you work. So to be responsible, you're expected to be law-abiding, be part of the community, be responsible to those rules and regs. And follow the rules and regs and laws of the local, state, federal government under which you work. That's how they're looking at responsibility. You are really looked at as a professional, and you should not be breaking laws. There have been a lot of project managers who've been in companies that there have been some questions of illegality. So this is not an insignificant thought that was put into here that says, well, of course, everybody follows the law. Everybody follows rules and regs. There have been bad times. And so it's expected of you to commit to this level of responsibility. And respect the intellectual property. A lot of us who work within the corporate structure touch a lot of intellectual property. Software is intellectual property. And it's important for us to keep respect for that property and the owners of that property. Respect for stakeholders, for the cultural differences of the people you work with and work for. Respect for the profession. As we were talking, the profession is self-governing, and we want you to respect what we do, what you do as a project manager. Fairness. There needs to be a sensitivity to the conflicts of interest that can happen, and understand that you need to be fair in your assertion and your actions. Conflicts of interest are part of life. So don't simply think that you can avoid them completely. You may see them at times. And they can be simple conflicts of interest, easily to avoid and move away from. But you are expected to be sensitive to a conflict of interest in the sense of fairness. And the perception of inappropriateness. We are in a group of multicultural, very bright people in working in projects. And we need to understand that we need to be fair. We need a perception of inappropriateness that is finely hewn. Honesty. Be truthful in communication and conduct. I mentioned it earlier when I discussed communication skills, that one of the skills that I believe in is the skill of being genuine and honest. And that's what we're talking about here. Be truthful in your communications, be truthful in your conduct. Support honesty. Support a frank and sincere environment. Honest, frank, sincere project teams get a lot done because they're not wasting time on a lot of the problems that can exist. So stimulate and support that type of environment within your team, within your project, and within your organization. Stakeholders, it's necessary that when we deal with stakeholders that we balance the interests of stakeholders, that we balance and not look at one set of stakeholders above another. You need to treat the stakeholders not as someone that is the enemy ever. They are to be treated with honor and respect. Stakeholders are very important to the methodology and to the success of projects. They bring us all the energy, and we are there to help solve the problems that they've identified, as well as work with them in those solutions. So treat the stakeholders with respect and with honor. A review of the information. The key terms to remember are responsibility, respect, fairness, and honesty. It's a simple model, but the professional responsibility and our code of conduct are very important to the organization. So be mindful of that as you walk into your next position or go back to your current position and manage projects towards the success of the organization and yourself. Thank you for joining me, Alan Evans, for our PMP prep class. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a lot. And study this, go out, and be better project managers with this training and this certification. Thank you.